Hi guys, welcome to my channel. This is obviously my first video. I will be showing you guys a look that I used with the Morphe 350 palette. If you want to know how to create this look, just keep on watching. Alright, so I've already primed and moisturized my skin, so we're going to go ahead and put on foundation. This is MAC Pro Longwear in the color N18. Now we're going to put a few dots of foundation kind of all over our face. Okay, we're going to go ahead and go in with our dampened beauty blender. We are going to want to blend that foundation in really nice and even with a dabbing technique rather than a rubbing technique, because rubbing tends to leave really ugly streaks. Now we're going to take a Revlon powder in Fair Light. You just want to take this and put it all over your face and really set your foundation. Okay. Now we're going to go ahead and go into eyebrows. We will be using the Anastasia Dip Brow in Soft Brown. Oh, this is when I literally stuck my finger in something and I have no idea what it was. I still don't know what it was. Okay, but back to eyebrows. We want to make sure that we take the eyebrow stuff, whatever you want to call it, and line the bottom of our eyebrows. Then we want to go in and line the top of our eyebrows. We also want to make sure that we kind of blend them out, because people don't normally blend their eyebrows out and it just looks like they took a Sharpie marker and drew on their eyebrows, and it does not look good at all. So people, blend your eyebrows out, please and thank you. Okay, now to make these eyebrows really pop, we're going to go ahead and conceal these bad boys with the NARS Light 2 concealer. We're just going to want to take our concealer brush and obviously line as close as possible to our eyebrows. And we're just going to make sure that we kind of blend them out just a little bit, so that way we don't have a whole bunch of harsh lines at all. Then we're going to take the concealer and put it all over the eyelid, just because I like to use my concealer as an eyeshadow primer. And also want to make sure, once again, you blend everything out, no harsh lines. We're now going to take the concealer and go over the tops of our eyebrows. The whole concealing the eyebrows isn't something that you absolutely have to do. I preferably like it just because it makes my eyebrows pop. But this is definitely a step that you do not have to do. Okay, now we're just going to go in and we're going to blend, blend, blend. Don't want any harsh lines at all. Jumping into the eyeshadow, we're going to get in the Morphe palette and get this kind of caramely color. We're going to get a nice big blending brush and we're just going to blend that all into our crease. Okay, the next color that we will be using on our lid is a little bit darker than before. We will also be using a brush that is a little bit smaller than before, and we will be taking that darker color and putting it on the outside of our lid and kind of sweeping it in our crease and towards the middle of our lid. Just make sure that you really blend everything out. And I got something in my eye. Going back to our first eyeshadow and our first brush, we're just going to make sure that we blend all of those harsh lines out. Next, we're going to take a nice red color. We're going to take a tampered brush, like a really small stippling brush, and we're just going to put that on the outside of our eye. And we're also going to put it on the inside, once again, for the halo effect. We're going to take this rose goldy color, and we're just going to take your finger and pack it onto the middle of your eyelid. And just going back in with that second color and just blending that out. Okay, so I wanted a little bit of a darker look, so I'm taking this chocolate color and taking a small little brush and just putting it on the outer part of my eye and putting a little bit on the inner part of my eye, because I just didn't think that it was dark enough. And I mean, you can never go wrong with more blending, but we're going to go ahead and jump into concealer. For concealer, I always use shades that are like 2 or 3 shades lighter than my actual skin tone, just so that way I can highlight certain points of my face. Like I really like to exaggerate my under eyes and my T-zone. Then after applying your concealer, you obviously want to blend that out like no other with a nice dampened beauty blender. Now into the baking and setting of my concealer using Airspun Naturally Neutral. I'm going to take my beauty blender and just cake that stuff right underneath my eyes and just set my T-zone. I don't necessarily like to bake my T-zone just because I don't like the way it feels on my face. I'm going to now take this darker color and use the second brush that I used when doing the top part of my eyeshadow, and I'm just going to smudge this underneath my eye. Now we're going to go in with that chocolate color again and put that on the outside and the inside of our eye. Then we're going to take a little tiny brush with that rose gold color and put it in the middle. Now we're going to go ahead and get into contouring using the Too Faced Chocolate Bronzer in the color Medium Deep. I'm also using a nice angled brush for contouring. Another tip for contouring is that you want to make sure that you go from the top of your ear down to your lips, because sometimes people tend to set their contour too high on their face or too low on their face, so that's kind of something to base your line off of. And of course, you just want to make sure that everything is blended out very nicely. Going into the forehead, I always like to do it darker more on the outer part of my forehead and a little bit lighter towards the center, because I feel like that just makes my forehead look a little bit smaller than it actually is. Now I'm taking a big fluffy brush and I'm just going to blend that out. And while I'm blending that out, I'm just going to go ahead and take off my baking that I did earlier. Going in with the Studio Makeup blush in the color Wildflower, I'm just going to take a brush that I got out of one of my Ipsy bags, and I always like to smile a little bit when I put on my blush, just so I can get it right perfectly on my cheek. I don't take my blush all the way up past my eyebrow because it just makes me look like a clown. Now for my favorite part of makeup, highlighter. I'm using the MAC highlighter in Double Gleam. I'm also taking another one of my brushes that I got in one of my Ipsy bags, and I'm just going to put that right above my blush and a little bit above my eyebrow, but not too much. Taking the highlight and just going to put it on my nose a little bit and on my Cupid's bow. Also just going to take my finger a little bit and put it on the top of my nose. I guess that's what you would call it. And just going to curl my eyelashes just a little bit, not too much. And as you can see, I got a little hungry in the middle of this video. But I'm going into mascara using L'Oreal. I kind of use a brown color, and I only use this closest to my lash line. I don't take this all the way up to the ends of my lashes. I use that just to make it look fuller. Then I go in with this Super Size Me Fibers by Maybelline, and I absolutely love this mascara. And I actually take this all the way to the tips of my eyelashes. This is what actually makes them look really long. Okay, don't make fun of my face when I'm doing my bottom lash line. I seriously can't help it. And this is the time that I messed up my makeup and I was so upset. But for lipstick, I just used this Tarte that I got in one of my birthday gifts. Alright guys, thank you guys for watching. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. If you want me to do any more videos like this, comment down below of what you think I should do next. Also, subscribe to my channel. And I'll see you guys next time.